Okay. The way I want to take this meeting forward is I'll start with the problem statement, how and why we conceptualize what we conceptualize today. I am Deepa. I'm the founder CEO of Skillioma. Skillioma is derived from two words, skill plus idioma. Idioma means language and Spanish. We combine those two words because we are about skills, and also along with the skill-based learning, we will also be improving English language proficiency for the students that are signing up for our courses. And that was the intention behind this. And okay, this is where I wanted to start. So this is the unemployability problem, as we all know. These are some of the stats that are taken from several sources, which basically says that only 20% of the students in general are employable. And the problem of today is the unemployability, which means they don't have the right skills. The students that are graduating from both schools and colleges, schools are, again, they have their own subject courses that are done in a specific way when they're teaching. And at the same time, the colleges have a specific way of teaching method as well, out of which the industry is looking for something else, right? And that is the gap that we are trying to solve here. Now, NEP also says that the holistic learning, which is the real world kind of learning, wherein we are connecting the dots between disciplines, rather subjects, is lost in our learning system or education system, and we have to bring it back, right? And that's where we also stand in terms of holistic learning. A little bit about me. Basically, you can see this is me and my husband. We both started this company about conceptualizing about 2 years ago, right in the middle of pandemic. When we conceptualized the idea, again, the fundamental idea is to reduce the gap between education and employment. And when I conceptualized and let out the beta version, that's when 3 months later, NEP 2020 came along with similar principles in terms of holistic learning. And we both were in the US. I mean, I did my master's in the US. I was there, I worked for 20 years, and he was also working there. So he takes care of the technical division for Skillioma. I take care of the remaining divisions for Skillioma. We both are working full time on this from past 2 years. Going back here, as we have seen the problem, right? So the problem, again, everybody agrees to it, but how do we solve this problem? There are a lot of other programs out there that actually have role-based learning courses. When you go out there, there are so many skill-based programs, but they actually take the role, the title, for example, database programmer, for example, a content writer. These people, like a business analyst, these people actually do their job well as long as it is in the box. Let's say a database programmer knows how to do databases, all sorts of databases, querying and things like that. But then the first step of any programmer when they go into workplaces is to be able to analyze, sit in the meetings, analyze, understand the requirements, analyze those requirements, and then go about developing that. And after they develop that, they're supposed to be able to test and also present it to their clients. They may be in India or abroad, for which they need communication skills, they need critical cognitive thinking skills, creativity skills, and also analysis skills, right? So those are the 21st century skills that the future of our generation needs for sure, no matter what we say, because of the globalized culture today in terms of work environment, and also that the internet has prolifically changed the scenario, the whole landscape of how we work today, right? With pandemic, you had seen people are working from anywhere, not just home, right? So that is where we are also going. So the solution we are offering today is an integrated model wherein the student is able to connect the dots because of this holistic awareness and knowledge that's being lacked in role-based learning or subject-based learning or siloed mode of learning. So we are expanding the horizons, giving the breadth that's necessary along with the depth of a subject, right? So how do I do that? So there are a lot of cases or use cases when people said, oh, then we have to spend more time. We don't have the time, right? Obviously, we are doing exams, competitive exams, other things for our students, and the students don't have the time. So that is why we built this framework. This is our framework that is built in-house with obviously taking in inputs from educationists around the world, whoever that have helped me along this journey. This is copyrighted. The way it works is if you take entrepreneurship, for example, as a skill from Skillioma, they will also be learning surrounding areas in the right doses, which means an entrepreneur has to be able to understand taxes, basic level of taxes. They also should understand the economics, how the world economy works. So that is the type of interdisciplinary learning we imbibe in all of our skills. So you can see in the center of the wheel, that's the holistic learning that we are talking about. So any skill you take, you will get entrepreneurship plus all of the surrounding skills in the right doses, plus English language proficiency, because that's inbuilt in the framework very seamlessly. And then you also get 21st century skills, which are soft skills that we are talking about, which is necessary for the future in order to increase the employability of our students. And this again is built on 80-20 principle, which means if you observe, we use only 20% of what we learn in school and colleges in real world. So that is that 20% we handpick and meticulously create for these students. So they're not spending extra time. They're also not spending time on things that probably they may not be useful or using for. And that's how this framework is built. It's only possible primarily because we create our own content in-house that is of high quality, and also it goes through 5 rounds of revisions, because we throw in a lot of examples, we have a lot of visuals, we have an easy way of understanding multiple modes of learning, because every student learns in a different manner. So that is the idea behind what we have done so far. Now you can see this wheel. These are the skills that we offer today. I'll show you a little bit more here. So these are the fundamental skills we offer. For colleges, we can customize, but when it goes to B2C, like an individual student sign up, we cannot customize because they are out there on the website with a set curriculum. Now the curriculum can be customized in terms of plus or minus of these skills. Job and career skills are geared towards employability. Again, any skill you take, you will get the other things as well. Before I go there, I also want to show you, we are certified, we are endorsed by STEM.org, which means we are of high quality content and curriculum. It goes through several rounds of revision because before they can offer the trust marks to us. And in terms of colleges, this is what we do. We call ourselves empowering students to build bright career. These are all certificate programs. The certificate comes from the STEM.org US in collaboration, in association with Skillioma. And they provide that certificate in blockchain, which means it is untampered. You cannot fake it. Nobody can use it. And that comes with an ID, like a unique ID that can be retrieved in any system around the world. In about 80 countries, they have their presence. So that means obviously they have the value, right? When they put it on their resume, these students put it on their resume, they can get internships faster, and also they are valued highly. In terms of colleges, what we offer in terms of services, we call ourselves that we are very helpful and supportive for placement committees, and we provide completion certificate, like I said. Obviously, colleges admissions are codependent on how much you provide in terms of placement opportunities for these students. And it's a plug and play solution. All the assignments are graded by us, given feedback. We send the tracking reports, grade reports, all of the feedback, like qualitative feedback to the colleges by assessing the grades, assessing the reports, assignments ourselves, right? We have an expert team in-house that will be grading these assignments for the college students. And it's NEP 2020's vision aligned in terms of holistic learning. We do provide full support on Q&A and customer service. With that, I'll show you how one lesson works with us, okay? And the curriculum, like I said, can be customized for the colleges. I'll just show you English communication skills. Okay, this is our learning management system. So anything you take from us, you'll be able to see, the students will get access to this course, right? And you can see the curriculum. I'll just give you an overview of the curriculum. There are a lot of lessons. This is comprehensive way of learning, because if we are just focusing on specialist learning, right, and not generalistic learning, the specialist learning is such that, let's say you know a skill or you know something really, really, really well, right? but like a mechanical engineering knows how to take out an engine and make it robust and put it back either in a car or a mobile, and how to make the controls really smooth and make the car go faster and all. At one point, what happens is when the AI comes in, if you can give specific instructions to AI, it can definitely overpower a human being. But there are certain things that AI, ML, data sciences, nothing can overpower us. And those are the type of skills we need to encourage and motivate our students to learn. And that's what we handpick again. So that some of those are being, having a personality development, being able to critically think, being able to connect different dots, being able to connect general awareness like current affairs, economics, inflation, world, wars, how this is going to impact us, right? In terms of both work culture and entrepreneurial culture. So this is what we focus on in every course you take with us. So out of which I'll just show you, in here, so that's where you can see 21st century skills overlapping with every single skill you take with us, self-development overlapping with every single skill you take with us, English communication overlapping with every single skill you take with us. And I'll just show you the sections because it's quite robust. And again, we are increasing the breadth, which means we are increasing the brain power. Grammar, reading, functional English. Functional English is basically how to order food at a restaurant, to how to make resolutions, to how to talk about change, how to rent an apartment. These are like very, very, very needed, like everyday things, right? And in the self-development, you can understand your personal strengths and weaknesses, like personal SWOT analysis, things like that, positive thinking, how to talk about yourself, how to project yourself, and things like that. And the basics, this is a basic level course. So I'm just showing you how they can face an interview, how to write a resume, how to write a cover letter, accepting a job offer, how to negotiate for salary and things like that. So I'll just show you one lesson. This is where our uniqueness also lies, right? Parts of speech is very basic lesson, but I'll start from here. Again, you will notice that the 20% that I'm talking about that we use in everyday conversations in English is what is being taken here, right? Because in part, we've been learning parts of speech like probably 16 years by the time you've come to college, but yet you don't know where, how to use. But again, when we are forming sentences, we are using only certain grammar a lot more than others. So we focus on that, right? So you can observe here, there is a listen to audio feature. I'll just go through the features that I have. And I can adjust the rate and pitch and voice. It will read aloud for them, which means it highlights the word as and when it reads. Okay, so right now I'm just leaving it at 0.8, 0.9, whatever. And I'll just ask it to read and it will start reading.
You and I think our thoughts can be understood as words. Let's give you an example. When your mother scolds you, how do you feel? You don't feel nice, right?
So that's how the word is highlighted for pronunciation benefits and other things. Now, if you move along, you'll also notice that there will be a lot of, I hover my mouse over. You can see it gives the meaning of the word in context of this subject, because synonyms are so many, right? You can have multiple meanings to the same word, but we actually so vocabulary cannot be built without the context. We cannot rote memorize vocabulary at all. And then you won't be able to use it in a sentence. So we kind of identify so many words. We have about 3,000, 4,000 words identified already in our content. And we identify in every single lesson, whichever course you take. So you just, the student has to just hover their mouse over and they will understand the meaning of the word. Like I said, there is a lot of visuals, like I said, and examples also. If I keep going, you'll see a lot of examples down here in the content. Without examples, you cannot connect. Without examples, you cannot understand. That's how a teacher or a lecturer or a professor actually teaches to their students with so many examples. And that's how they can process it, that information, and digest that information and use it practically. So I'll keep going so you can see the visuals. We call it visual auditory cognitive way of learning. Cognition is built through reading, and we are a strong proponent of having these students learn through reading, but we have other modes of learning as well. So the power words are those words that were already given in the as part of the lesson. These act as index cards. So when they are learning through the lesson or reading through the lesson, they will understand the words, they'll put it in their memory, And then they will try and remember those words, the meanings of those words, and we give them exercises based on these words. They're supposed to write some sentences. Even the colleges can do that, right? They can use it in multiple ways, like in clubs, or like just for a debate activity or a speaking assignment, or just for writing assignment. We can use these in multiple ways. But the idea here, though, after every lesson, in the end of every lesson, is for them to actually be able to remember those words and put them in context. This is the critical thinking challenge question I was talking about. There will be assignment submission form, which I'll show you, which we will be doing. So there are two videos here. Basically, we try and make sure one video is not more than 10-12 minutes long, because then the retention capacity and the focus levels are reduced for these students. So I'll just play like 30 seconds of this video for you to understand how the 2D animation is done, or how it goes conceptually.
At the right spot for it to make complete sense to your listener. Now, we know what a sentence is. These sentences, when spoken with perfection, will help you speak fluent English. We also know that sentences are made up of words, and these words make small parts of our speech. This is exactly what we aim to cover in this lesson. Parts of speech. So, what are parts of speech? Parts of speech are the small pieces of words that make your speech. These small parts help you to understand how to form a sentence correctly. These pieces are divided into 8 parts. Today, we will learn about all 8 of them with many easy to understand examples and help you master the art of parts of speech.
So you get the idea, right? So it's basically a mixture of images and words, because obviously it has to be digested in their heads. So visually, when they see it and listen to it, then they should be able to understand the concept. Now, once we are done there, usually you go back to the LMS, which we were seeing earlier, right? And the students will be doing assignments, right? So there are some mandatory assignments, some optional assignments. Again, these can be customized based on the college's need requirements. So you can see the duration. This can be done, right? This is a demo course. So we can put the duration, we can put the deadline, we can assign marks. Right now, usually the critical thinking assignments are done at 10 marks, and the passing mark is 5, which is 50% of what they're supposed to do. So you can see this critical thinking challenge question, and there is an assignment submission form. So the description of this question, so a score of 50% or above is needed for the blockchain STEM certificate that comes from the US, because we take these students' analysis or grade reports and send it to them, and they'll issue the certificates based on the scores. This is a little higher than the Skillioma certificate, which is by default, they get it. Now, the students can answer in any format here. So they can type, which improves their typing skills. Some of these exercises are also about typing skills. And they can create an image. Creating an image, we have a lesson again. Creating a Word document, we have a lesson again. For arts and humanities students, they also get the basic tech skills. Presentation, PowerPoint, Excel, PDF, or any text file. And also MP3s are allowed, right? So we do have some speaking assignments here, wherein there is 2 types of speaking. One is the impromptu speaking, like when they are speaking through their intention and words and concept, versus somebody is reading from a scripted thing. So those 2 types, initially we take them through the scripted one, and slowly we put them through the impromptu way of speaking. And that's how we improve their speaking skills as well. So they will attach the file through their mobile. They speak, whether it's 1 minute or 2 minutes or 30 seconds, depending on how the student is doing. We ask them for these assignments, and then they send that file to us, and we will also review that file and assign grade to it. So this is how, in general, one lesson works. Okay. And I'll show you our other content just for you to get the idea. These are the categories we have, under which general awareness is a huge one, wherein we have all the current affairs topics like helicopter money, quantitative easing during pandemic, how COVID. We don't talk about the crime news, or again, we filter out a lot of unwanted stuff in our content, because we create it with that intention that it's all about learning. It's all about building knowledge base. So I'll just show you job and career. So you can see under job and career, which we also call employability skills. You can see there are different types, again, diverse way of learning. which is what's necessary in the real world, not a siloed way of learning. So you can see, I'm just scrolling through. There are so much of content here that colleges can choose, and we can build a customized course for you, right? Depending on understanding different job roles, how the job roles are changing in today's work environment. How actually you can see here, and what is that you need to become one of those role-based people, right? And how do you go about learning that? What are the skills that are necessary and things like that? So they have an idea on how to go about building their career or planning for their career. How to write a professional email for beginners. Again, we have a professional email for professionals who are already working. And the initial idea of colleges is for them to get an internship faster, or a fresher kind of a job faster. Like I said, personal SWOT analysis. So these are some of the things that I was showing you. And then you have grade report and all of that. You can see in these screenshots here. They can generate at any point in time. So this is how the grade report is. You can see that each individual quiz, there's a pre-assessment quiz, there's a post-assessment quiz. In between, we have quizzes as well, along with critical thinking challenge questions. But each of these, how much they have scored, you'll see this tracking report. Along with that, we also send you login activity, how much time they have spent. So we can also identify what their passionate areas are. If somebody is more interested in learning leadership skills, even though they signed up for communication skills, we will understand that, they may be interested in this area, like an MBA kind of thing, or something related to marketing and sales or business development kind of a role. So that type of analysis also will be able to give it to colleges. With that, I'll take a pause. I gave an overview. There is a lot of content on our website. It keeps growing day by day. And I'll open it up for questions. Please go ahead and ask any questions or concerns, any requirements. I am more than happy to answer those.